Hey, everybody. We have been recently talking about our spiritual toolkit and the different things that we add and detract from it in order to be just a happier person. And one of the most wonderful things in my own spiritual toolkit are fantastic, gloriously well built, handmade, fine cigars. It's not for everybody. This is a very well, you either love them or you hate them. But for us, I love to chew them on occasion. Sometimes people will see me holding them or call them my blanket, my comfort blanket, or I have some type of strange, perverted oral fixation or whatever jokes may be made. But really, every so often, whenever you find yourself in a stressful spot, it's good to sit down, whether you have a good glass of wine or you have a fine cigar, whatever it is that helps you become a better person. I think that is what you should do. And in exploring these here with my brother who's sitting across from me and chomping on a fine cigar, there are, well, these things, it's a long process to make. They're not adulterated with just all these crazy chemicals that you find in all these other tobacco products. This thing is beautiful. It takes a very long time from farming to after harvest and drying them out to all the beautiful labors of love where they're just romantically rolling these cigars to these beautiful works of art. And I've always thought, on the occasions that I have done the practice of loving a cigar, is that just like I guess with people how they meditate or we meditate, that I thought and still think and still believe, whether how silly or foolish, is that my smoke, which I don't inhale, but I enjoy the aroma, my thoughts and emotions and feelings and ambitions and everything that is rolled up into my thought process, my consciousness, I feel like it's escaping into the world for the world to see and to know. It probably happens without me romanticizing it when I do with a cigar, but it sure does make the process a lot better for me. You have to find your own gig, but this is something that we enjoy.
It's something that I thought it was worth us talking about because, I'm thinking, it's our channel, it's our show. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. And this is something that my brother and I have shared for many years. I mean, if nothing else, we'd come over and have a smoke together and talk about deep topics that you just don't get when you decide to sit down and smoke a cigar with somebody. It's an event. It's not something that you do, like a cigarette. It's going to be over in 5 or 10 minutes. This is something that you're going to learn if you like somebody or not. It's something that you have to sit for, 45 minutes to an hour, and you're inhaling, or you're not inhaling, but you're taking in basically a work of art. You're sharing a work of art between two people. And as you're enjoying that work of art, there's a whole thought process that kicks off. And, if you know anything about the science of nicotine, it does increase a synapses in your brain. So it makes your brain work more effectively. And I've found that it leads to really great, deep conversation where you can philosophize with another person. And it really is a great shared experience that you can't do with everyone. And it's not for everyone, like you said, but if you want to get down and really set some time aside to get to know somebody, to enjoy someone's company, to find out how they think about the world, how they feel about the world, what moves them, what drives them, I think sharing a cigar is a wonderful tool because I know I've heard you say it before, that if you can smoke a cigar with someone, you can do a deal with someone because you have to enjoy them for that amount of time.
Yeah, a cigar is a commitment. When you go to fire it up, you have just committed yourself to a minimum of about 40 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the cigar and the size and that thing. And I have been in cigar lounges around the world, and I can tell you that I have never been to a cigar lounge where I did not meet other kindred spirits, people that were friendly, open minded, just the same sort of open arms, welcoming, generous, helpful, wonderful people. Even in communist Boston, they used to have a place called Cigar Masters. It's one of the greatest homey type cigar lounges in the world. But of course, they closed that down because it was bothering nobody. But it was fantastic. You could find kindred spirits there. It's the same way all over the world. Just like when you and I were in the Middle East, we had a cigar bar in Qatar, and you go in there, and all of a sudden, and it was our first day. Well, the first thing we do, we walk into the hotel cigar lounge, and everybody is friendly. There's only a few people there, but they waved. The waiters were absolutely wonderful. Management was nice, just like they always are everywhere, because they know they have somebody that is, I would have to say, a quality of character that is unlike just the regular person walking into a restaurant or walking up to a bar or any of those. Now, not that anything's wrong with any of that. I'm just saying they know exactly what they're getting. They're getting somebody who is committed to being here for at least an hour, hour and a half, to enjoy the calmness, the opportunity, and to engage, not to sit and play on some device, not to look up and watch a game, not to do anything else, but to be there in the moment, engage with another human being or human beings. And it's just grand. It's wonderful.
I think that is a wonderful point that you brought up about traveling in cigars, because that's something that I wouldn't have thought of, even though that we have done it so often. It's just one of those things that you come to expect when you enjoy cigars, that anywhere you travel, like anywhere, war-torn countries, there is going to be a nice cigar lounge almost anywhere you go. When I say nice, I mean they're extremely nice, full of nice people, wonderful service, because again, it goes back to, it's that experience, it's that connection that the people that like cigars and love cigars, they can look at it and say, look at this beautiful piece of art. And if you really look close enough, it's not just a brown stick. I mean, if you look close enough, you can see the little hairs, the cilia that's on it, where the leaf, the veins come into it. I mean, it's really a beautiful thing. Just to sit and look at it in the sun is something that's completely wonderful.
It's wonderful. And I have to say that a lot of people think that it's, for those people, cigars are something, the rich bankers do, or those sorts of things. Man, cigars are for anyone who enjoys the commitment of the time, and they enjoy the art of the cigar, and they enjoy the actual act of the smoke around you and those sorts of things, because there's no economic barrier really. I mean, you can get a great cigar for really inexpensive. You can buy them from JR's. There's a bunch of companies that sell really good cigars for $1. And then you can go all the way up to, they get pretty pricey. But there's no dress code. You can go into, I'm sure there are at some places, but I have never been to a cigar lounge where just any and everybody that walked in, no matter what race, color, creed, how they dressed, none of that mattered. They had a cigar in their hand. They went to the humidor and got one. You instantly knew that they were thoughtful enough and aware of their time enough to consciously make a decision that I am going to commit to being here amongst other people doing the same thing, but I'm going to engage with the person I'm with. I'm going to very often, and in most cases, join in on a conversation with the people near me. It's not like being in a restaurant where you're just talking to who you are, or not talking, you're on your phone or whatever. Cigar lounges typically include your neighbors. You say hi, how are you doing? What brand are you smoking? How have you been? Where are you from? And you start engaging with your fellow humans.
That's something that a lot of people out there that don't enjoy the art don't know about. That is a very social event if you're out at a cigar bar or lounge, that it's very easy to start and form a conversation and bonds with people just on the art of, hey, what are you smoking? What do you like? That kind of easy conversation starter that can lead into so many other wonderful things. I mean, we are living an age where we're bombarded by technology and, this ad pops up or this has got to be on Facebook or this or that or that. But to go out to a cigar lounge is a relaxing event where you can put all that stuff aside and really enjoy the connection with you, yourself, nature, your cigar, and even enjoy the conversation and being in the room with other people and have wonderful conversations that just can take you anywhere. I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. It can go anywhere.
Anywhere. And it's just as simple as saying hi. Just for the shot, people, people have this, I think really, because I've seen it my entire life, have a misconception of a cigar lounge. And I've never been anywhere from the highest to the lowest of places where a cigar lounge, every time there's always loving, welcoming, open arm people. Never had an instance where that was not the case, and I've been in I cannot say all of them, that's an exaggeration, but I've been in so many I can't count them.
Yeah, people forget that, one of the big barriers of starting a conversation is finding something the other person likes and you can have a conversation about. You're in a cigar lounge, smoking cigars. The first huge barrier is already out of the way. They enjoy it. You enjoy it. There's your big barrier out of the way. Then the conversation can flow easily and smoothly.
And it always does, whether or not it's just a hi. Hey, how are you? Yeah, just in passing. Because if you're both of you or all of you, whatever the situation is, are all committed to sitting and enjoying the company of other people. And that is just the wonder and the grandness of what cigars and cigar facilities do, because they open up, they remove any barrier, they tear down all these walls, because nobody cares if you're a man, woman, they don't care, whatever it is, they just don't care. They don't care what you're dressed. They don't care if you're walking in flip-flops or you got wingtip shoes on. I mean, it's all the same. I've never been in one where it wasn't. And that is just, I think, because more often than not, a lot of guys that smoke cigars and women, they use them as a meditative tool. They want to sit and commit either alone or with somebody, but a lot of times just alone, sitting on your back porch, sitting in your special room, or sitting in your whatever place you are, and you're just thinking. You're thinking about how to solve a problem while you're enjoying the time spent with this labor of love. It took so much work from, the farmers, the rollers, the boxers, the moving it. I mean, it's a lot. And you're enjoying the fruits of Mother Nature in your hand, and you have time to think. Just like Mark Twain said, it gives a fool something to put in his mouth and a wise man time to think. Couldn't be a better statement. It's great. And, we don't smoke like Mark Twain does, but, he says he smokes in moderation, one right after another.
You should never do two at a time. Two at a time is a bad idea, bad news.
A bad thing. So anyway, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, as a matter of fact, I really enjoyed our discussion, and I really liked bringing our audience into something that we feel very passionate about and something that we have enjoyed. And one of the things that has brought us so close together as brothers, and hopefully that they can get something out of this video that we have shared And I really thank everyone for joining us. If you like what we have to say, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and join us on all the alternatives: Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, and of course, YouTube. And have a good day.